So the last day was completely flat on the Wall Street, and I have said this thing in my yesterday's video. Personally, I don't think there is hardly any momentum. And overall, if you're looking at Dow Jones, S&P, and Nasdaq, you will feel or you will sense a range-bound kind of pattern. And although there has been some volatile trends, or on one day, on one trading session, you can see big bounce back, and on another session you will see a big downside, but all that is happening is within the range. So that is something you need to understand. There is nothing called rocket science. This is very clear. And in the midst of these news where each and every economy are posting highest inflation in their history of past 30, 40, or 50 years, and then we can see all the global giant or the companies, they are doing the job cuts, and because of these you will see a bounce back on the stock prices. So this is not a parameter. This is not at all a parameter. And if you are indeed considering it a parameter to do the job cut and do the cost saving and push the stock price higher, that does not work out in the long term, because companies and the fundamentals are working on good numbers, good fundamentals, growth in EPS. You are doing the job cut, it does not mean that you are getting a good business. So that is something which you need to understand. Now let us see what is happening as far as the trend is concerned, or overall indices are concerned. And I have a firm view that I'm not going to take unnecessary risk beyond the range. That is something which is very clear. If there is any big move, then we will see how the trend is changing or whether the range is changing. But as of now, it is best in my favor to stay within the range, because there are some specific levels. I may earn less, but that is fine for me, rather taking unnecessary risk without understanding the situation. And as I told you, I have already shown you in my yesterday's video. If you haven't checked it, go and check it out. The weekly chart for Dow Jones is not at all giving us a good indication, a positive indication. Rather, it is the RSI has already been in a negative way. So you will see a big downside, and whatever upside we can see right now, it looks like it is temporary, because the long term trend has already changed. So right now, what do we have here? The immediate range for Dow Jones is in between 33,425 on the downside and 33,965 on the upside. If Dow Jones stretched beyond 33,965 or more, it may expand up to 34,296 and 34,354. Simultaneously on the downside, the big support we have here is 33,025 and stop loss of 32,970. So this is the broad range in between which Dow Jones is trading, and I have no view to go beyond the range. Okay, I don't have any view to go beyond the range. Let's play the range, and if there is any breakout and breakdown, then change our decisions accordingly. Now, if you're looking at Nasdaq was completely flat after a big swing, but this is the range which I have showed you yesterday, and as I told you, there is nothing changed as far as the range is concerned. And I am personally, in at this position where Nasdaq is very near to the range or upper end of the range, which is in between 11,508 and 11,590. If I have any position right now, I would square it off. I don't carry any position just for the sake of 80 or 100 points or 200 points, because if there is a breakout, I will take my decision accordingly, because this is the resistance zone and the price is trading very near to resistance zone. And if Nasdaq does not sustain above 11,590, then obviously it will move towards 11,300 and 11,250. So 10,200 and 250. So this is the move, or this is the range in between which Nasdaq is trading for the last 2 or 3 months, and I personally don't have any view to go beyond this. And let me tell you that this range, if you are considering this as a positive range, this is happening after a big downside. Okay, this is happening, as you can see, this is happening after a big downside. So it does not give you a positive signal. If you are looking at the broad range, this is not at all a way with which we can say that the trend has reversed and now everything will go into la la land. This kind of thing you can't expect with this kind of trend. So be aware, it is very near to resistance, so don't take unnecessary risk. I've been saying this for the last 2 week. Okay, for the last 2 weeks I'm saying the same thing. We have an upside downside movement, but that is happening within the range. So this is called a consolidation. This is not at all a negative or positive. This is like a bunny kind of formation where the rabbit just hop around, but it is going in a front straight line. Apart from that, the most important and the stable one is S&P 500, and S&P 500 as well. If I am sensing a range bound price movement, I can't go beyond the range, and S&P 500 right now is trading at its near term resistance, which is 4033. If S&P 500 sustains above 4033, it may stretch up to 4100, 110. That's it. And simultaneously on the downside we have 3800 and 3765. So this is something which we are analyzing, a range bound move. You can clearly see Nasdaq and S&P 500 is trading very near to the resistance, so take your decisions accordingly. If you want to go long and short, then either trade the edges or wait for the breakout or breakdown. So this is the end of the video. Thanks for watching.